My name is Jack McGrath. I'm involved with Sports Experience, and my guest today is Duval Paul. Duval was a Boston Herald, Boston Globe, All-Scholastic this year, along with Jordan McAfee. And Jordan, he only had one interception this year, right?
Yeah.
The first game. Unbelievable, yeah.
Is.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mention some of the games and names and about you or about somebody else, so you can make comments on either yourself or somebody else. You understand? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Oh. You Georgetown guys know. And before I do that, I'd like to just mention, not football, but some of the things you've done here in the past couple of years, you know. You've been living by yourself. And how did that come about?
So I moved in with my father about freshman year. Me and him, we weren't really seeing eye to eye. The whole time I was living with him, we weren't getting along too well. And in about October, as soon as I turned 18, he kind of told me that it was about the time that I find, somewhere else to stay. It was hard, only because it was during the season and my mind was focused on, trying to win and trying to get better for the team and trying to, do what I can and get the best out of me. So I also had to face another obstacle, which was, finding a place to stay, and
meals too, yeah.
Meals and all that stuff. So I ended up, I had a family member who lived in Lynn who told me that, she doesn't mind I stay there. There's just so many people in the house that I have to, pay rent. So I took her up on that offer. My mom helped me up a lot. Shout out to her. Yeah, she helped me out a lot. And, me and my sister, we lived down there and paid rent. And
when was that? Was that in October?
So that was in October, yeah.
Okay,
so until this day, I still live there.
Yeah, and so how did you get your meals? You had some at Everett High, I know.
Yeah.
You could have your breakfast and lunch, right?
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So school helped out a lot. School breakfasts at school, meals, lunches. During lunch, I ate a lot. I ate a lot of lunch. Yeah.
Any steaks?
No steaks. I wasn't that fortunate. But ate a lot of lunches. The coaches helped out a lot. They had the program where they were passing out the sandwiches after every practice. So I took full advantage of that. Yeah. I also was fortunate enough, and I would like to, big shout out to Cassandra for helping me out. But she helped me out get a job at Northeastern University.
Who's Cassandra?
She's my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's my girlfriend.
All right.
So she helped me out. She helped me get a job at Northeastern, and it was a kitchen over there. So I also took advantage of their food as well. Ate as much as I could over there. And
did she work there too?
No, she didn't work there. She was.
I met her at the banquet.
Yeah, you did meet her at the banquet.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's helped me out a lot. She's helped me out a lot.
That's great. And what I predict, did you know the movie Blind Side at all?
Yeah, I'm familiar, yeah.
You're familiar with it?
With the story, yeah.
I mean, it's a true story.
Yeah.
I mean, he made the pros, and his name was Oher. I don't know how to pronounce it, but what's her name? Sandra Bullock, she got an award, supporting actress, you know?
Yeah.
And I predict in 10 years that you might have a movie too after you.
Oh, I hope so.
But you
Jack.
might have to come 6'5". You're only 6'2" right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
Nah, you're right, Jack.
No? Okay. Okay, we'll go back to this thing. I'm going to mention now some of the games you played and some comment. You can make comments either on yourself or somebody else. I'm going to start off with that Andover game.
Mm-hmm.
And would you have? You had at least
2.5 sacks, yeah.
you had 2.5 sacks.
Couple tackles.
And there were 4 interceptions on that game.
Yeah, 4 interceptions on the defensive side, yeah.
And you get tackled 8 times. Huh?
Yeah.
But you had 2.5 sacks?
Yeah,
They must have been double teaming you. Though.
Oh, I've been getting double teamed since the beginning of the season. Yeah, beginning of the season.
Oh, no, and I'm just checking it on you and Fiali. I think you got the defensive players of the year on that Central Catholic game, which was a 62-33 score.
Yeah.
And Everett won. Now I want to mention the Central Catholic game. Do you remember anything great you did?
Oh man, one play in particular that stands out to me was it was a sack. I believe it was in the second quarter. I was rushing the quarterback. Dwayne got there before me. Dwayne chipped his leg, but he managed to stay up. And, you know, he went back about 10 yards before. And then I just went in the backfield and, you know, I got a hold of him and he fell immediately. I was so happy. I was excited. Yeah. You know, we got ready. We prepared for that team. You know, we lost to them past couple years and we went in motivated, more motivated than ever. You know, we were driven, especially defensively. You know, coaches already told us what we were going to see. They had a great quarterback. They had great receivers. Their linemen were tough. You know, I was getting double teamed all game. All game. So, you know, it was hard.
You didn't go out on dates that night, though. No. Now, McAfee had 5 touchdowns in that game, if I have it correct, you know. And what's his name? Nocia had 3 touchdowns, passing, receptions, you know.
Yeah.
You know. All right, I'm going to mention one name because it's the game against Zavarian, your last game when you won 21-7. Zarella, he only had 2 catches all year. But in that game, he had 2 catches. Zarella, remember?
Yeah. So Zarella has always been a great athlete, you know.
Yeah.
He's in practice, he's one kid that always amazes everybody. His hands are like he has glue on his hands. The ball never misses his hands. He's a great athlete. You know, so the coaches have like set receivers in certain plays for certain people. And Coach Coach DiBiaso thought that at that moment, that play would have been the best fit. And oh boy, did Zarella make the best of it.
He went 50 yards?
He went about 50 yards. He still regrets it until this day that he didn't score that play.
Oh, really?
But, you know, I think he did a hell of a job at that moment, you know.
And you know, in that game, Benz, who is coming back this year, he had 12 tackles.
Yeah.
He came on his own near the end, right?
Yeah, so Dwayne Benz, he's a force on the field defensively. I feel as if, me personally, I think Dwayne Benz is not as appreciated as he should be on the defensive side of the ball. He does a lot, and teams have to adjust their whole offensive scheme scheme when Dwayne Bins is rushing on the outside.
Yeah.
You know, he's fast.
Yeah.
He pursues the ball, and he's very aggressive. He's very aggressive. So he's definitely someone I think is going to show off next year, who's going to shine.
No, and you had how many tackles on that game? You had 9 tackles. Right?
Which game was that?
The Severian game, the last game.
So the last game I had about 6 tackles, 2 sacks.
And 2 sacks.
Yeah.
How many sacks did you have all year?
I finished the year with 11 sacks this year.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is that a record?
Nah, it's not a record.
No, they
It's
never
not
keep
a
the record on sacks. Huh? Oh. All right, the St. John's game. Let's go there. I think that was your greatest game defensively.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so St. John's...
You won 35-14. Go ahead.
So the St. John's prep game, it was hot, but we prepared for them all practice. The coaches were, the coaches were very intense in practice. We watched a lot of film. You know, we watched every single play on, you know, the game that they played prior, and every play that they had, we had another play to counter it.
Oh, yeah,
So, you know, that game, it was hot. But the night before, drunk lots of fluids, you know, stayed hydrated.
Yeah.
Coaches always tell us to drink lots of water.
At night? Yeah.
At night, yeah. So, you know, I just went in, and especially the year before, you know, they beat us so bad during the homecoming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't want that happening again. So
not the second time, but we'll get to that
yeah,
later.
we didn't want that happening again. So you know, we all went out there fired up, and defensively we all communicated. You know, communication is key, and we communicated a lot. You know,
wow.
Whenever it was a pass, whenever it was a run, you know, just any small little hint as to what the play was going to be defensively, we picked it up like this, which helped me a lot.
Yeah, you had about double tackle. You had at least 10 tackles.
Yeah. So
at least, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the Haverhill game. The only thing I'm bringing that up is San Risto. He had an 87 touchdown interception. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
But he really came around. He was only a sophomore.
Yeah.
You know, and Fedna, he in 76 seconds, you scored the first touchdown in that game against Haverhill.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, and it wasn't a long run. It was just 3.
It was just
quickies.
a quick thing.
Yeah. And I just want to bring the Malden game up because I'm fascinated a little bit. Jenkins, he was a back that didn't do anything his first 3 years. And then in the Malden game, he had an 82-yard run. And in the Somerville game, he had a 93. Were you fooled by that?
Nah, I was definitely,
yeah.
I was not fooled by that at all. Chris Jenkins played defense.
Oh, he did.
At the beginning. So at the start of his high school career, he played defense. And, you know, there was just so many guys competing for that defensive position. So Chris made the decision last minute. He's an athlete. He's a freakish athlete. He made the decision to play running back his senior year. And, you know, he just, every time he touched the ball, it was something special.
Yeah, it was.
You know, he's one kid. He's very athletic. You know, he's very fast, one of the fastest on the team. You know, off the field, he's a great person, very smart guy. So he picked up on the plays real quick. So once he started shining towards the middle of the season, I wasn't surprised at all because I knew what Chris Jenkins could do, and I knew his potential, and I knew that he was beginning to reach his full potential.
Now, in your junior year, you were 5-5. And so what I want to know, you must have been motivated by the fact that your junior year you were 5-5 to come on and win the Super Bowl. Do you think you must have been motivated to win that Super Bowl after 5-5?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. So growing up, all you hear is the legacy of Everett football and what football has done the past couple years, especially Dibbs as a head coach. What he's accomplished, and going 5-5, one of the worst seasons that
Jimmy Yazoo ever
I
had.
ever had.
At
Yeah,
Everett. At Everett.
at Everett, we felt as if we had to make it. We owed him for that. We felt that we had to, because he's a great coach. He does so much for us, and I don't think people understand. Coach Dibbs is not just a coach on the field; he's a coach off the field. He helps us in so many different ways, whether it's a difficult situation at home or a situation in school with grades and stuff. He'll help you to the best of his abilities, which is why I love him to death. He's the greatest coach I've ever had. So we felt as if we owed him, and we felt that he was giving us so much and we weren't giving him enough. So that off season, we worked so hard, tirelessly, in the weight room. A lot of us we were spending like on our own, going to the gym on our own, going to the field on our own to get extra workouts in, working on what we needed to improve in. And that's what we did. End of this, before the season started, before camp, conditioned a lot, got in great shape. Our strength and conditioning coach, Coach Ruth, got us, really, really strong.
Oh,
At
Ruth,
that,
huh?
yeah, so at that point, we were one of the strongest classes coming in that I believe Everett High has ever seen. We were putting up big, big numbers on the board. O-line was big, D-line was big, and, we went in camp all fired up, and the first game, I think that that first game, if it was ever redone, we would win that game.
Yeah.
If we ever went back to that game and
Yeah.
did it again, we would win that game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was just people were new to their positions and people were a little bit inexperienced, but at the end of the day, I believe that game we did really good, and we did a good job stopping and keeping up with Severian.
Let's get to Georgetown now.
Okay.
How did that happen?
So
No, really, it's a great school academically and physically.
yeah,
Athletically and academically.
yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So Georgetown came around towards the end of the season. The Georgetown defensive coordinator was actually recruiting a defensive end at BB&M.
Yeah.
What's
BB&M?
BB&M, I forget the abbreviation for that school, but
Don't
it's
worry about it.
yeah, but it's a school here in Massachusetts. But
Bridgewater, right now. No. Go ahead.
But the coach down there at BB&M was telling the Georgetown defensive coordinator that there's a great defensive tackle at Everett High School who's just been killing it this season, and so the coach decided to come to Everett High School and talk to me personally. The coaches got to tell him my story and just some of the obstacles that I had to overcome during the season, which made him, he felt as if like, to do what I did, you had to be somebody special,
Yeah.
So once everything got cleared through Georgetown admissions, he made his offer, and at that point I want to say about 7 D1 AA offers.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I talked to my
You had
coach.
at St. Anne's too.
Yeah, I had St. Anselm,
Central Connecticut?
Central Connecticut,
Yeah.
Bucknell University,
Oh, yeah?
University of Albany, University of
They
Rhode
would have given
Island.
you a full scholarship.
Yeah.
You didn't get a full one at Georgetown, did you?
No, I did.
Oh, my God. Chris.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, great. Huh? No, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But yeah,
How did you get down there?
so
Georgetown.
yeah, so for the visit they flew me out.
Oh, they did?
For the visit they flew me out. Immediately fell in love with the campus. The campus was beautiful. Got a chance to meet up with some of the players and some of the regular students over there, and got to talk to them. And I immediately fell in love with the school, and that's where
Yeah.
I made my decision.
Great. The coach, Carlo Lewis, said that you control the line of scrimmage. What does he mean? You couldn't be the whole line,
Yeah,
but he loved you, huh?
yeah. Coach Carlos. You know, Coach Carlos defensively, he's a great coach. He's an intelligent coach. You know, he's another person, real similar to Coach Dibbs. You know,
Yeah.
I know that if I ever got into any situation, I know I could depend on Coach Carlos. I trust him and I love him. You know, he's great. The way he runs his defense, you know, it worked out perfect for me. Whenever I got down in my stance, when he says I control the line of scrimmage, I basically set the tempo on the line of scrimmage. You know,
Yeah.
O linemen, I was pushing them all, squeezing them
yeah.
together, closing every single gap, making sure that there was no run at all the whole game.
Yeah.
You know, teams were coming at me at the end of the game, telling me that, you know, they had to adjust their whole offensive scheme because of me.
For
You
that
know,
game?
yeah, because you know, Coach Carlos and Coach Ruth.
Now, he coached college, Ruiz,
Who?
in Texas, Carlos.
Yeah, Coach
And
Carlos.
of course, Ruth was All-American at BC.
And BC, yeah. So, you know, we have a great coaching staff. Coach Carlos came from a school in Texas where they also were a great team defensively. So I don't think that's a coincidence. I think Coach Carlos is just a great coach. And Coach Ruth, as people all know, you know, he was a legend. He just recently got inducted into the College Hall of Fame.
Right.
Yeah. So defensively. He was my defensive line coach, and he taught me everything I know. You know, all the moves, all the techniques, getting my technique down. He taught me everything. And
Now, the BC never made an offer to you?
nah, see, BC. I talked to the BC coach. I talked to UMass Amherst. A lot of those coaches, they were real focused in on height.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they were real focused in on height. You know, they were looking for ideally about a 6'4", 6'5" defensive tackle. I was about 3 inches under the expectation. I did get offered a preferred walk-on scholarship by UMass, but you know, I personally,
they wanted you to be 6'5",
yeah, 6'5", yeah, that was ideally what you know, their expectations are. So, you know, I decided that the best thing to do academically and athletically was to go to Georgetown because that school, you know, has a great academic program and their football program is really good. So
They didn't send ex-President Clinton to your house, did they?
oh, I wish they did.
He went there. Duval, excellent interview. You can really, you get my elocution award. Thank you very much.
No problem.
For
Thank you,
for
Jack.
coming
Thank you
down.
for having me, all right?
Thanks.